Its history is much deeper than the miles of ice which cover its vast terrain. Let's learn about the nation of Locaston. Welcome to this continuation of my DireLands system-agnostic dark fantasy campaign setting. My name is Adam, and in this episode, I will discuss the nation of Locaston in DireLands. If you appreciate the development of this campaign setting or the features of other games on this channel, I'd like to invite you to consider becoming a patron on Patreon. You can even purchase tabletop role-playing games using my affiliate link in the description below. The nation of Locaston that exists today is much different than the vast, sprawling land that predated the Ice Age. In fact, the nation itself was only formed in 1754 AM, or after men arrived from the west, after, you guessed it, the Biochte arrived on the continent of Faulest in their longboats. For generations before that time, the sprawling mountains, vast oceans, and myriad of ruins which predated the many tribes that called this region their home were the backdrop to the First Nations people and vicious orc tribes which raided the area. Their traveling warbands were disconnected from each other and focused on raiding the First Nations people for survival. This led to many half-orc children, and after a couple generations, these half-orcs formed their own tribes, setting their homes in and around the ruins that dotted the vast Confresh Sea, spreading into the Huid Plains. These highlands are defined by the sprawling Yezi's mountain range, which flows from northern Faulest south and east until it meets the Karst mountain range. This Yez's range is the ancient home of the orcs, whose own history tells of a great magical bridge which brought them to Ciar-mhonadh in the days when the gods walked the earth. Whether this is true, which would mean they originated from the moon Dotsche and crossed in its quarter-century cycle, which ends in a magical bridge between the moon and Ciar-mhonadh, or if it's just a racial memory of witnessing this event, is unknown. What is known is that these orc tribes which once dwelt in these northern highlands are now by and large extinct. It's believed they created the vast ruins and sprawling underground domains which litter the highlands and Yez's range, though now they are buried under miles of glacier ice. The frozen highlands also contained the Sicel Lakes, a series of lakes that were the scars of when the ancient dragons emerged and battled the gods, when the continent was mostly wildlands. These ancient worms are believed to be extinct now, but the battles the northern First Nations people speak of in legends were epic beyond the understanding of mortal men. The offspring of these worms are believed to exist in the wyverns that roam the Grooks range and the great lizards which dwell in the frozen tunnels around the Karst range. There are rumors that the dragons still exist, but are trapped under the northern ice sheet. Should it ever melt or recede, we may learn the truth of this, but then it could spell the end of mortal men in the absence of the gods' presence on Ciar-mhonadh. With the foundation of Locaston and the years of bloody conflict that followed as the other national borders were defined by Bressus and Calia, the northern First Nations people, who are now united with the half-orc tribes, were the first to witness the arrival of the Witch Queen. With the coming of the Ice Age in 902 AM, the farthest northern glaciers began to spread south, stretching and forcing the migration of the Northmen and half-orc populations south. This migration would last some 150 years until the Witch Queen made her presence known. Some of the northern tribes believe the Witch Queen is the result of the Ice Age, and she has always been here. Others contend that an ancient forgotten ritual started the Ice Age, which led to her arrival. Whatever the truth, her presence led to nearly 800 years of subjugation, torment, and death. The Witch Queen's Galeks were formed by those tribes which sought power and influence in this turbulent nation's epic, and they sprawled south over the centuries, controlling the entire continent. But not all of the people of Locaston followed her wicked rule. Resistance cells sprung up in the northeastern jungles of Locaston. The southern reaches of the nation joined forces with the resistance which was forming in Bressus, and the dwarves of the Karst Range would smuggle troops and equipment through their vast underground halls for the people of Calia. The home of the Galeks is the capital of Locaston. Vergnim. It is still the center of the remnant forces of the Witch Queen, and an area no one but the most confident of spies dare enter, lest a short, tortured existence preface your death. While only a third of the nation is inhabitable, it features a population of around 17 million, the lower Grook's Range being the center of most of this population. However, the jungles east of the Karst Range and the cities of Kalia and Sess are home to vast swaths of First Nations people and half-orc tribes. Much of the life in the region is fed by the Papliur Lake via the Parul River, which, covered by glaciers at its source, still feeds the lands throughout this region. Culturally, Locaston is seen as the home of monsters and death, but this reputation, while earned by the Witch Queen and her Galeks, is not the reality of the region's First Nations people and half-orc tribes. They want nothing but to live out their lives in the manner which their ancestors have for centuries. And while the cultures differ and may share rituals and traditions that may seem violent, crude, or barbaric to some in the South, they are artifacts of a people and time when the world was young and under the influence of the wildlands and the gods themselves. Will the Galeks rise again and threaten the free people of Locaston or other nations of the world? Will another powerful leader return, or will the Witch Queen herself arise anew? And finally, could the northern glaciers recede? And are they part of their own global cycle? Only your home campaigns can answer those questions, as the future of these DireLands are in your hands. Thank you for watching today's DireLands Fantasy Campaign Setting episode. Please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel, liking and commenting on the video, and if you enjoyed this episode, consider becoming a patron on Patreon. Always remember that evil spelled backwards is live, so get out there and be evil.